Ladies and gentlemen, the Newton Nomadic Theater presents Story Slam.
So I went through a period of time where I did a lot of business travel, and I'm an executive search professional or a headhunter. And it would take me to wonderful places like BWI or Pittsburgh Airport. I'd go in, I'd interview 5 or 6 people, come back out, usually try and do it in a day because I have a couple kids. And this got really tiresome and boring. But I had a friend at the time, and she's even in the audience, surprised me tonight, who had written a bestseller book called The Pirate's Daughter. And I got really excited for her because my job was great, paid well, but it was not like her job, which was to write a bestseller book. And so I said, Margaret, what can I do to help you? I have this idea. I am in airport bookstores all the time, and I'm going to try and look for your book and see where where it is on the shelf. And then I got this really great idea, which was that I was going to take her book, and wherever I saw like a Danielle Steele display, I was going to put her books out front so that I could get them, up front and personal, being a marketing person like I am. So I'm in BWI Airport, and I take her books, and there are 5 of them because her books are doing so well. And I get them, I get the stack, I get it in my hand, I have my briefcase, I think I was pumping at this point, so I have my breast pump, and I'm schlepping my way over, and I put the books out, and I take Danielle Steele's book, and I put them back where Margaret's books were, and I get this hand on my shoulder, and I hear this loud and distinguished male voice, and he says, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, oh crap, I've been caught. And so we get into this conversation, this clerk in the bookstore and I explained to him that I'm doing this guerrilla marketing for a friend, and I try and chat him up, and I think of everything my mother's told me to say when I'm going to be extra polite. I'm super ingratiating to this guy, and he says, "Oh my gosh, you do that? Would you do it for my book?" So imagine my surprise as I am led back to the clerk's desk, and he, out from underneath, pulls out 3 of his books. And I look at his books, and it's this hunky male torso and dog tags. He goes, "No, these books are not for everybody." I'm like, "Yeah, you think?" He goes, "They actually fall into the category," I didn't even know there was this category, of gay military porn. Who knew, right? Who knew? And so I am now he goes, "What's your name?" And of course, I'm still in polite mode. So I'm like, "All right, my name's Julietta Hicks DePeyster." And he writes me this incredibly long note in the inside of one of the covers. And then he gives me a couple more to put out. Now, "I want you to have these." Oh yeah, because I need these. So I get this book. I put it in my briefcase. I put all of them in my briefcase. I go to interview the 6 people that I'm interviewing, hour and a half per person, 15 minutes in between. And of course, it's in my briefcase. My briefcase is chock-a-block full, and every time I go to pull out a resume from somebody, and I'm trying not to show the other resumes because all the candidates might know each other, small industry, and every time I do it, I open the bag, and I'm like, "Oh, I got the books!" So then I close the briefcase back up, and I'm like, "Oh God, the books." And then, of course, I have to go back through TSA, and who's going to see the books? TSA guys. That's great. That's really good. So I come home, I tell my husband the story. He thinks it's hilarious. I'm like, "What do I do with the books?" He goes, "Put them in the way back shelf." So the kids didn't find them. So I end up, we live in this place for a while, and then we move, and my job when we move is to go paint our house while my husband packs up the whole apartment. And so I'm painting, he's packing, and he's like, "Oh, those books. Yeah, we'll just take those books," picks them off the shelf, and he picks all of them that the guy's given me, and he sticks them in the pile to go to the Wellesley Library book sale, including the one that says "To Julia DePeyster." And he very nicely takes it off to the library, and I don't know who got this book, but I'm telling you, somebody got a big surprise. Thank you.